stupid thing.
Welcome to the podium. On the process of getting the American Health Care Act through the Senate, there's some talk that they may have to go back to the drawing board. As you know, it was an awfully heavy lift getting the AHCA through the House. Does the President expect that the process in the Senate could be even more difficult?
We'll learn from this terrible experience that we've had. We'll become a better team from the lessons that we've learned.
It sounds like there could almost be wholesale changes here. And is it possible for I know that this is a little bit hypothetical because you don't know where this is going, but if the Senate makes substantial changes to what passed the House, is it ever going to get out of the conference committee?
No,
Sure, that's a big disappointment to you.
How patient is the president on this health care bill? He obviously has other priorities that he's working on, tax reform, infrastructure. And does he feel like there's needs to be sort of an artificial deadline, perhaps, on when this bill needs to go to conference, perhaps by the 4th of July?
It's nothing about the past, nothing about the future. Right now, we're preparing for Cincinnati.
Is it fair to say that this should be called Trump care at this point?
Kristen, just to follow up on the question about the timeline,
Seattle.
Senator Cornyn said we're not under any deadline. I heard you say in your opening remarks that you expect the Senate to take this up in short order.
Seattle.
So are you guys on the same page in terms of the timing?
Seattle.
Acknowledge it could take months. Is that okay with the president? Is he willing to wait that long?
Seattle.
And just ask you about some of the criticism. The AARP says this amounts to an age tax. Other medical organizations have expressed concerns that those living with pre-existing conditions will in fact see their premiums go up. So can you guarantee Americans, people living with pre-existing conditions, seniors, that they won't see hikes in their premiums and what they pay for health care?
We're getting ready for Cincinnati. I could have done it 3 times. I could have done it 53 times. It could have been 103 times if that's what they wanted to keep asking, because we had to turn the page, and we had. I'd say we had.
But can those with pre-existing conditions and older Americans be guaranteed that they won't see hikes in the prices they pay?
I'm sure if we're required to do it, we'll do it.
Really interesting, and I thought surprising story in Politico.
The communication system wasn't, very good. I mean, we deal with that. Seems like weekly, but
Saying that there's a plan by the Trump administration to gut the Office of National Drug Control Policy, and I'm just wondering if you could tell us, is that report correct, and why? Is the thinking obviously he cares about the opioid addiction problem, we've talked about that, he brought Chris Christie into the mix. What would be the reason for gutting that office, and is it to move it somewhere else? I've got a French election question also. I'll wait though.
yeah, they told us they were on the verge of shutting it off, but then I guess they got it working, so I don't know, but it was a problem the whole game.
And is there a general danger that the White House, through its rhetoric, is animating too many people to jump to conclusions against immigrants, and in the process diminishing the entire immigrant community, whether they're law-abiding or not?
Back to healthcare, we've talked about how there will be changes in the Senate. You
Yeah, I've
said the
already
White
covered
House
this.
is open to that as long as the principles remain the same. I was wondering if we could get a little more specificity on specifically
I've
what
already
principles
covered
and
it.
how they're represented in the current House bill. So, for example,